What is going on, you guys? Big Armada news today. We got a huge new FAQ and tournament regulations. I'm going to be posting these on Crabbok.com, so you can check them out there. I always post like the latest errata and things like that on Crabbok.com under the errata section. But wow, a lot of stuff to talk about today. One thing that's huge is like new tournament regulations that are saying you can only have 2 flotillas in a fleet, and flotillas basically don't count as ships when it comes to the end of the game. So basically, if I kill all of your ships except flotillas, I still win. So they're almost treated like squadrons in that regard. So that is interesting. But as far as FAQ stuff, now that again, that's only tournament games. You can still play casual games with as many flotillas as you want. But if they have affected the tournament structure that way, then most people are going to probably follow that for practice games or for league games and for any kind of standard game. So I think that's what you should grow accustomed to. I personally am not affected by that as much. I'm a little annoyed in that I do have like 3 Gozantis, so now I can't really use them, but it's so rare that I would use more than 2. I mean, I usually only use 1 flotilla in any given build. Anyway, I do have a couple builds that use 2 flotillas, but I don't have that many builds that use more than 2. So it's not really that big of a deal, although I did always kind of want to run like a 13 Gozanti build or something like that. But let's look at these errata. There's a lot of meta changes, and this is going live right before Worlds. I mean, it effectively takes effect April 23rd, so later on this month. And let's start with Avenger. So Avenger now has to be exhausted. So that is something. Avenger having to be exhausted is kind of a big deal. In that you can't line up a double arc shot anymore. Or if it's an objective ship from like advanced gunnery, if you were to attack twice. So you can exhaust it to stop them. I mean, this isn't a huge change. It still keeps much of the power of Avenger there. But it's a rough one. It's definitely a rough one. So there's that. There's also Gallant Haven. Now this one surprises me because you know, Gallant Haven says before a friendly squadron at distance 1 suffers damage from an attack, reduce the total damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. So you can't just stop a 1 damage from landing at all anymore. Now it's a minimum of 1, which is a little surprising. I didn't know Gallant Haven needed to be nerfed. I in my area, not a lot of people run Gallant Haven. I don't think I have ever run it to where it is actually worked. I fly assault frigates very rarely, and I very, very rarely use this title, and the few times that I have run it, I don't think it's ever actually mattered because I always end up sending my squadrons all over the place. So, like, I know that some people really, really like this, and in certain areas this is a very popular choice, but I didn't think it was that big that it needed to be nerfed. So that one is surprising to me. Yavaris, it does make a little bit of sense. Yavaris, the squadrons can attack twice as long as they don't move during your activation. This stops the fighter coordination team and flight commander from you being able to move them up 1 and then attack twice. That's what that stops you from being able to do. Only a minor nerf to Yavaris. I don't think that's a crushing nerf to Yavaris. I think the relay nerf that we're going to see is much more of a crushing nerf to a lot of things, which is fine with me because most people will say, and I have been saying it for a long time, in that relay needs to be nerfed. So now relay is basically an extension. If you were in range of the activating ship, somebody within 1 to 3 of you can now get activated. That's how relay should have always been. The surprising thing to me is that it was kind of a 2-part problem. On one hand, the flotillas, activating ships from safety was a problem, but now that flotillas don't even matter really anymore. Like they nerf flotillas and relay, and that's surprising because I'm like, you only needed to do one or the other. You just needed the relay nerf, and then people wouldn't, I mean, I can understand people will probably still swarm flotillas for activation, but these just seem like they're good quality of life changes. I don't know if the Yavaris one is really that big of a deal now that relay has been changed, but one knows okay. I mean, I understand. Yavaris is already strong enough as is. It makes me wonder if there's going to be some more stuff to boost the Nebulon B, and maybe that's why they didn't want that one to be too much stronger, which would be interesting. But basically, all the squadrons that have relay on them have also been changed. So there's a couple other. Those are the main ones. They clarified a couple of rules, like if you can't activate somebody because of Radis, or then you pass. That's no. Some of these things are a little bit common sense. There is an interesting one towards the bottom that deals with the blockade run. They talk about the clarifying of objective ships. There's one for Luke. All right, so while resolving Biggs Darklighter's ability, you cannot choose a friendly squadron that has been destroyed but is still in play because of Riken's card effect. That's a nice little quality of life effect. I think a lot of the metas that were maybe in part toxic or in part creating a negative play experience, I think are being impacted by this. But like if you had a diversified kind of build play style, I don't think this is going to affect you as much. If you weren't trying to cheese too much, I think you were probably all right. Luke Skywalker doesn't grant Nora Wexley, doesn't get Nora's ability since he's treating them as having no shields. He's not going to be able to, do a damage to shields. That makes sense. Aspiration apparently can be re-equipped with shields with things like projection experts in the higher hull zone, which is interesting. And so we got some other little things like I've got motion at my front door. That's what happens when you have a Ring doorbell. But they're talking about the Chimera with the Corellian conflict, a little bit of stuff there. Talking about the different things that it can equip. But some of the most interesting stuff is at the bottom for Strategic Advisor. This one I thought was pretty interesting. This card's effect can only resolve if the ship it's equipped on to could activate this turn. So if something stops the ship from being able to activate, or if, for example, you activate your ship first and then wanted to basically tap the Strategic Advisor later on in place of another one. So if this is on your Avenger, for example, and then you get, I want to go first now. Well, now you don't get to use Strategic Advisor. So I think that's a pretty good clarification, and that makes this card a little bit more balanced. This actually changes things a lot and makes this card way, way, way more interesting. But that's what I think. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. How much of an impact do you think this is going to have? We've got a couple of things talking about Governor Price and Thrawn. Like you can use Thrawn's thing to get a token back. A lot of it's always a good idea to print one of these out before you go to a tournament as well. Have a copy on hand in case somebody needs to reference it, or have it in PDF in your phone or something like that. But a lot of interesting stuff in here. It's kind of a bummer when they errata cards, and in this case, I don't think the erratas are too bad. Yavaris is more of a clarification. I think that was the intent all along. Gallant Haven, I don't know. I didn't think that needed to be done. Avenger, I don't know if that one really needed to be done as much, but I can get it, especially for those double arc shots. But relay is a really, really good change. I think the relay change puts the game in a really comfortable place right now. I think the game is stronger now than it's ever been. And I wonder, my question for you guys is this. Do you think that the timing, of them announcing these changes is in relation to possibly a pending Wave 8 reveal that is going to maybe have some impact here? Maybe are we going to see new relay squadrons, or new squadrons that might be somehow overpowered if they had infinite range? Or do you think squadrons that, if they had the double tap ability, would be even more deadly, and that's where they had to tone down Yavaris? Do you think maybe we'll get like a Nebulon B, I don't know, like an Aces pack with a new upgrades for Nebulon Bs, and that would make Yavaris too strong. Something to make Avenger stronger, something to let you attack twice against the same target, perhaps, or another double frontal firing arc shot, or something like that. Or maybe Gallant Haven, maybe assault frigates. Maybe we'll get an assault frigate Mark 1 for the Rebels. I mean, I really think, I really think that for the Rebels we're going to get the Brahatok and maybe a Venator for the Empire. That's what I would really like to see, but I'd like to hear what you guys think. There is another round of the giveaway going on right now, so if you haven't already, make sure you're a subscriber, and you can enter to win by just leaving a comment and being a subscriber. It's as simple as that. So make sure you do that. Let me know what you guys think of this new FAQ, its timing, what this means for the game moving forward. Do you think these changes make sense? Which ones are you most annoyed with? The only one that really bugs me is the restriction on 2 flotillas. It doesn't bug me that much. Does not bug me that much. Relay is the champion of today, and the flotilla nerf is kind of a bummer, but that's only because I have already bought flotillas that now I can't use, and you know, hey, maybe I would have never used them, but I'm annoyed that I no longer can. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let's talk about this FAQ, what it's gonna mean. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.